Hi, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know how you're doing. I can see that there's 3 people live already, so that's awesome. Yes, awesome. Thank you very much. This is my first webinar. I've been loving doing this type of workshop over the past several months in person, and I'm so excited to be bringing it online to you guys. So thank you so much. And there's some smiley faces. Cool. I'm loving this platform. Awesome. So we're going to jump into how you guys can live your happiest life. I'm learning how to use the slides. There, I have to click. So I'm Laura McPhee, and I'm a happiness coach and healer. I absolutely love to help women to be empowered so that they can live their dream happy lives. So I typically work with people pleasers and perfectionists, workaholics, caregivers, people who are always putting other people first and tend to sacrifice themselves. So I work with them to let go of all their stress and worry and overwhelm and the junk that holds them back and kind of keeps that burden on their shoulders so they can kind of let go of the baggage and be free and live that happy, healthy, most fulfilling life of their dreams. I'm going to close out of all my other emails now that this is all live and going. Awesome. So, doing great. Good to be here. Wonderful. So happy to have you here, Sherry Lynn. And I want to really welcome all you guys for joining live. So I'd love to know where you're tuning in from. Just a bit more about you. I have some phone numbers coming in. I have some people. So let me know how you guys are. I'd love to hear how you're doing this evening. Notre Dame, New Brunswick. Awesome. I'm also New Brunswick. And I know that we have a lot of New Brunswick people, a lot of St. John and Moncton folks, and we have a couple US people, which is really exciting. Sherry Lynn from, I don't want to say this wrong, Chanternagwe, Quebec. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm very sorry. About 20 minutes from Montreal. Very cool. I'm so excited to be able to reach all of you guys through the wonderful amazingness of the internet. So we'll get started. Do you ever feel like you're tired or stressed out or unappreciated or overwhelmed? Do you feel like you just want to be happier, finally get to this happy place, but you keep putting your happiness off into the future over and over? Are you a people pleaser or perfectionist or a workaholic? Well, if so, you're in the right place because we're going to show you how you can live your happiest life now, not in the future, not after you graduate, not when you're retired, not into the ever foreverness into the future. We're going to show you how to do it right now. And with 5 simple steps that I've personally used in my life that I help my clients use so that you can actually incorporate it into your life. So definitely grab a pen and paper if you don't already. We're going to get right into the awesomeness so you guys can really gain a lot of value from it. So the different steps are self-love, self-care, having an attitude of gratitude, having healthy boundaries with those in your life, and having assertive communication skills. You can also just choose to be happy right now. It's a choice, and we'll talk a bit about that. We're going to do a healing throughout the entire kind of workshop webinar so that we can remove the limiting beliefs that are holding you back and preventing you from being happy. So by the end, you guys are going to feel lighter, relaxed, and happier, having lifted that weight and some of those subconscious blocks off yourself so you can truly be happier in your life. So who's excited to have a happier life? I know I'm super excited, and the more you get out of it is exactly what you put into it. So put in the comments if you're excited, say yes, woohoo, me, woohoo. Awesome. And it's just like anything in life. The more energy and more time and just awesomeness you put in, the more you get out. So Leonard also says yes. Wonderful. Awesome. And think about what's preventing you from being happy right now. There's so many things that stop people, that little negative voice in the back of their head prevents them from moving forward. So do you ever feel like you never have time for yourself? You're just unappreciated. No one values you. That you're finding yourself thinking, I'll be happy when, and then always moving that point. Oh, I'll be happy on Friday. Oh, well, now it's Sunday again and I have to go back on the Monday. So then I'll be happy when I have a vacation. When, and always moving it forward. Do you even know what your dream happy life looks like? A lot of people don't even take the time to have that clarity. Are you working too much? Are you worried or stressed out or tired or overwhelmed by it all? Well, if so, you're in luck because I felt every one of those ways plus more, and I'm on the other side of it, and it's my mission to help other people get to where I am now so that they can enjoy happy and healthy and fulfilling and joyful lives. Plus, you also have a special chance to win a 1-hour session with me. So the way that you can win this is by promoting it on social media. So if you want to go on Facebook right now, I'll give you some kind of bit of time to go onto it. So if you want to go on Facebook and tag me, so you can tag me as my name, Laura McPhee, or as my business page, Laura McPhee, and say how excited you are to be here, that you're super excited to be having a happier life. Tag any friends that you feel would really benefit from having a happier life, because we need to spread this message of positivity and happiness to as many people as we can. And I love that. I do that on my Love and Light show. That's totally free on Mondays. If you're not familiar with that, highly recommend it. So I encourage you to be that light and to shine that happiness in your life. So by sharing it on social media, you'll have a chance to win. I'll kind of go in after this is done and see the different people who did share it out, and then I'll put your names in a little basket and draw. So we will do the winner at the end. So definitely, as I'm talking, go on Facebook and let me know. Put in the chat box that we have here, the attendee chat box, that you did it. And yeah, definitely get on that chance to win. And there's also going to be a special opportunity that I'm going to share with you guys at the end. And I just shared how you can win. So hopefully this has given you enough time to go onto Facebook, to go onto your social media platforms. If you also want to share it on Instagram, you'll get another ballot for that. So however you want to share it with your friends, I definitely recommend just tagging myself so it's super easy for me to find it. And then we'll discover the winner at the end for the 1-hour session. And I'm going to tell you guys a bit about my story too, so that you can know who I am and where I'm coming from. So by the time I was graduating from high school, I was a full-fledged people pleaser, perfectionist, and workaholic. About the age of 7, I started working for my parents in their in-home accounting business, and it started with basic stuff like shredding paper and cleaning and organizing, and then quickly got into more elevated tasks like data entry, and I was very good as an accountant at a young age. I was very quick and easy to pick stuff up. So I worked a lot. I also was a straight A student. I was a super high achiever. I always put the achievements and doing things and being seen as Little Miss Perfect as a big identity for me, because it was formed when I was younger, and that's what I thought I needed to get love. That's the thing that I kind of really identified with. Awesome. Done, shared. Good luck, everyone. Great job. Awesome. So yeah, identified as being these titles, as being labeled as a people pleaser. I was in a lot of different I volunteered with my church, with the Key Club, with a bunch of different things. So I was always giving of my time. I'd say yes to basically anything that you ever asked, no matter what time of day. Any friend, anyone who wanted something, even if it was I'm exhausted and I have a 1,000,000-mile to-do list, I would still offer my help and support to people. So that was not healthy, because I continued to carry it through my entire life. I'd always be saying, I'll be happy when. So when I was in corporate, I was like, I'll be happy when I get more letters after my name, when I get a designation, when I get another promotion, when I'm a manager, when I'm married, when, and putting it off. But that did not lead to happiness. It actually led to my breaking point, where I was promoted, and some of my old job hadn't been backfilled. So I had done so many hours of unpaid, unappreciated overtime while I was doing my designation on the side, so studying to get more letters behind my name. And I also had a lot of family stuff come in along the way too. So I was just feeling so unbelievably pressured, and I had taken on the title of my family's savior and done a bunch of stuff, and there was just so many limitations that I put on my happiness and the box that I created in my world that prevented me from just happiness. And it made me so exhausted and run down and stressed out. And I wasn't happy. I wasn't dating. I always put off seeing my friends until later, and they kind of got it. But I was so completely sacrificing myself for these things that I thought was going to make me successful. So it led to a breaking point where I was like, this isn't healthy. I need to be happy now. I need to find a way to do that. So I've always been into personal development. I got really into it and found the things that would help me. I did some counseling, my own theta healing practitioner, and coaching with her. I've gone through so many breakthroughs and aha moments that were able to just propel me through my life. And I've had so many amazing mentors who were able to guide me through this process. And I'm so, so grateful for them. Awesome. And Whitley says, hey, thanks for joining. Awesome. So I'm so proud to say that I'm now an ex-people pleaser and an ex-perfectionist, and I'm like a recovering workaholic. I'll still like work weekends sometimes for like workshops or doing like an expo. Those are typically on weekends, but I make sure I build in self-care time before and after it so that I don't allow myself to get burnt out. Too many people go on stress leave or just feel too run down, and that's not a healthy state to be in. When we're run down and we're at like our lowest capacity, we're not able to show up and help other people in the world. So I love that I get to be at a full cup and I can give from the overflow. So I'm still kind and compassionate and caring and jealous, but it's the intention of I do that when I'm full. I don't do it when I'm exhausted and at like 10% energy level and someone's going to come to me and be like, can you give me like 20% of your energy right now? And then you're at like negative 10% and you're like really exhausted and resenting them for asking and resenting yourself and being hard on yourself that you said yes to something again when you should have said no and that you can't say no. So it's the intention behind it that's really important. We can still be generous and loving and compassionate. We just want to do it from a full cup. Because when we're healthy and happy and lit up, we give so much more and so much more abundantly, and it feels so incredible to do it from that space. So I really encourage you to kind of like look at your own life and see where some of your intentions might be obligations. Like I feel obligated or expected, or I have a standard that I have to do this, or I always get kind of supper on the table at 6 o'clock, so I couldn't go to like a spin class or something fun for me because I need to do this instead of taking time for myself. And hello, Tiffany. So happy you're joining us. Woohoo! And my mission is to be the best version of myself and to help other people do the same so that we can all be living happy and healthy and fulfilling lives, because the world truly needs it, you guys. You're seeing it. You're seeing the social media, the regular media, that hurt people are hurting people, that Donald Trump's in power, that people keep shooting each other. Like the world needs people to be happy and people to be healing themselves so that we can show up better in our lives for supporting our family, and when we're really good, supporting our communities and our coworkers and just our communities and making those positive ripple effects so we can bring up the vibration of the entire planet, because we totally can. And there's so many great, wonderful people who are feeling called to do this, and you can definitely do it too by stepping up and taking care of yourself first. So this is a bit of my life before and after to kind of see if you guys can recognize any of yourselves in the before. So before, I didn't really know what self-love or self-care was, and now I prioritize it. It's in my Google Calendar, and I make sure that I love myself, that I do my daily rituals that fill up my cup so that I can show up in a more healthier and happier way consistently in my life. I rarely showed that I was grateful, and I had like little to no boundaries, so I'd always be saying yes to people. And now I practice gratitude daily. It's a ritual for me before I go to bed to say 3 things that I'm grateful for, and I say it throughout the day too when I'm like, okay, what lesson am I learning here? Like some annoyance or little situation came up, and be like, okay, there's something, like there's a silver lining, there's something to be grateful for here, to shift my perspective and to maintain my happy mindset. Now I have healthy boundaries, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to say yes when I truly want to, and I'm able to say no to things that I know aren't healthy for me, or just my body's like, no, like that's not going to feel good. Like I don't agree with that. There's something there that just isn't in alignment. I was unhappy without fully realizing it. A lot of my conversations of, hey, how are you? Would be like, busy, but good. When the honesty would be like, I'm fucking overwhelmed and like things are crazy and my to-do list is so high and I like can't handle it all. And I'm like, everyone around me was like that. And just because it was the norm of the people around me doesn't mean that it was happy or that that's what normal should be. And now I'm so excited to say how happy I am, that I'm joyful, that I say I'm blissfully happy, that I'm wonderful, that I have new levels of peace in my life that I'm just so grateful for. I was definitely a passive communicator, not speaking how I truly felt, had that little negative voice saying kind of mean things to myself and the other people around me. And now I'm an assertive communicator so that the people around me do know how I'm thinking and feeling. And I wanted to explain to you guys a little bit about theta healing. I know some of you guys who are online do know what theta healing is. For anyone who doesn't and anyone who will be joining a replay, I know a lot of more people signed up for the replay. I'll explain it here too. So theta healing involves your theta brainwave, and it works because it's directly tied to your subconscious mind. So a lot of people don't understand how your full capacity brain works. So 5% of your mind is where you want to be, this happy, healthy, fulfilling, abundant, financially free, amazing, tons of vacation time life. So that's 5%. It's like the tip of the iceberg is your conscious mind. And then the other 95% just beneath the surface, the bulk of the iceberg, is your subconscious mind. So that's where your subconscious limiting beliefs are. It's where we've learned from our parents and society and teachers and friends and TV that there is fear, that there's lack, that there's overwhelm, that there's stress, that we should be in scarcity mode, and that life isn't safe, or all this self-doubt or that negative voice, all that stuff that's fed into that, that's where we gain it. We gain it like a sponge as we're children throughout our entire lives, and we never judge what comes up in theta healing because we never were like, yeah, please give me the, like, I can't stay out of debt like mindset. I'd really like that subconscious belief to be passed to me. Like, we never chose that. So we never judge it when it comes up. When we do discover what our subconscious beliefs are, it's just a gentle awareness so that we can close that gap. Because now we're like, okay, I have this subconscious belief. I want to be here. So let's close that gap. And a really great way you can tap into your subconscious beliefs is through muscle testing. So a really simple way to muscle test, and there's a bunch of different ways, is to muscle test with your fingers. So if you kind of hold your fingers together as if you had like a $20 bill and held it just like as if there was some slight breeze. So it's like enough pressure where if you had a $20 bill, it wouldn't leave, like you have your $20 bill, but it's like not a workout. It's not like you're going to like cut off your blood supply. It's just enough pressure to hold it together. And you're going to use your other fingers as kind of like pliers or like little tweezers and pull it. So when your muscles know that you're saying a true statement, it stays strong. And when your muscles know that you're saying a false statement, when you're lying to yourself, they get a teeny bit weaker, which allows them to break. So if I muscle test my first name, my name is Laura, and it stays strong, and we don't have any Jacks, so we can also muscle test, my name is Jack, and it breaks. So I encourage you guys to do it. Sherilyn's like, it works. I know, muscle testing is so phenomenally amazing. So you can try it now if you want to start by saying, my name is, whatever your name is. So my name is Laura. Then my name is Jack, unless your name's Jack. So you can try that. Let me know in the comments if it doesn't work for you or if it is working for you and you're like super excited that it works. Isn't it so cool that muscle testing can like tap into your subconscious mind? It's really awesome. So another really great tool for having that muscle testing, and then awesome, yes, woohoo! For having the ability to muscle test and tap into your subconscious is that you're empowered to know what your subconscious beliefs are, that you can know what you're thinking and feeling. Awesome. Wow, cool. Good. Awesome. I'm glad it's working for you guys. So it's wonderful because if you're like in a health food store or if you're in a crystal shop, you can like hold something or look at something and muscle test. This is the best next thing for my healing journey. Yes. Or it's really cool for awareness when the universe is showing you some kind of like interesting things that might be triggering you all over the world. Be like, huh, like this is showing up 3 times. Then you can muscle test. I'm judging this anger in myself. Yeah. Anger is the next thing for me to work on in my healing journey. Yeah. Like yes or no. You can kind of see from that what your subconscious beliefs are. I did it for my money values. Wonderful. Yeah, I did a video on that the other day. Awesome. I'm glad that that's working for you guys. So we covered the muscle testing and it's working well. Woohoo! And then we'll get into a bit of success stories so that you know that I'm not some fluke. Like my road and my journey isn't a random exception, that it works for me, it works for other people, it works for my clients, and it will totally work for you. So be prepared. Let your conscious mind be like, okay, this isn't too woo-woo or this isn't too whatever, that you can do this too. So Kelly said, during my theta healing sessions with Laura, she helped me get to the root of a few issues that had caused me anxiety, worry, and stress. She is kind, knowledgeable, and a great listener. I felt comfortable during the sessions and left feeling lighter and in a positive frame of mind. Afterwards, I saw shifts in how I reacted to situations, which meant less stress and a happier life. I recommended her to my friends. She's fantastic. And I really love when I get those messages on Facebook or as a review that you are totally reacting in different ways, or that you feel the difference, or that you like notice the difference in your self-talk, because it's so interesting and I absolutely love it. Like I get super lit up by helping my clients do this, by helping people change their beliefs, because it's 100% what I'm meant to do. And I absolutely love hearing it. Awesome. Blockages, yes. Cool, Sherilyn. So there's some other testimonials. You can also see them on my website and on my Facebook page. So just to know that other people do theta healing, do different conscious level pieces with me, and it works like wonders. So definitely it will work for you as well. So let's jump into the 5 simple steps. And again, there's self-love and self-care, having an attitude of gratitude, having healthy boundaries, and assertive communication skills. So the number one thing is self-love. And I always start with self-love because when you love yourself fully and completely, it allows more space for you to incorporate the other pieces into your life. When you love yourself, you create and carve out time in your life to do these other portions. So it's so important to start here. And a very beginner thing is to say, I love you to yourself in the mirror. And even though it might feel a little bit funny or a little bit weird or even kind of fake at the beginning, keep doing it. We say I love you to everyone else in our lives, to our kids, to our partners, to our friends and family, but are we really giving that love back to us? So it's so important to start with ourselves. So when I started, I put a little post-it note beside my mirror, I love you, to remind me. So do it for at least a couple weeks so that it starts to feel good for you. And then it builds as a habit. So for myself, over the years, it went from just I love you to building affirmations. So if you've done some of my workshops before and you're like, cool, I have the I love you piece, add an affirmation. I'm incredible. I deserve outstanding things. I'm beautiful. I'm strong. I'm courageous. So every time that you go to wash your hands, there's typically a mirror, your negative mind has turned into this positive best friend that supports you and cheerleads you on and encourages you, that says these things on autopilot. We can reprogram our brain from that negative voice to a very positive one that says, I love you, you're absolutely incredible, you deserve outstanding things. And that's what I absolutely love, because even if you're having a slightly down day, you go and wash your hands, you go walk by a mirror, and your brain subconsciously, in a positive way, is reminding you of how much you love yourself. So I really recommend starting with that one. And positive self-talk is so important because we're with ourselves 365, 24/7, every day of our life. So we should have a healthy relationship with ourselves. And knowing that everything that you say after I am is created into your reality. So if you say I'm strong and happy and powerful and confident and assertive, then you're going to attract and become that fully in your body. And on the flip side, if you say I'm stupid or I fail at things or I'm not good enough, that will create your reality too. We create self-fulfilling prophecies. So it's important to bring mindfulness into that and shift it from a negative thing that you're saying I am to a very positive one. And it's so important to know your strengths, especially as women. A lot of people can easily name all the things that they're weak at or that they've failed at, and it's a little bit harder to think of our strengths. So I really encourage you to know what your strengths are and compliment yourself on a regular basis when you're doing them, when you're speaking your truth, when you're doing wonderful things in the world, where you're helping someone out. Actually acknowledge and celebrate how awesome you are, and that helps to contribute to your happiness. So definitely complimenting yourselves. A lot of people have that negative voice in their head, that Special K commercial that says 98% of women have an I hate my body moment every single day. And I absolutely was shocked when I heard that statistic because it shouldn't be like that. Women are incredible and we're amazing and we need to take back our power. So look at yourself in the mirror and compliment yourself. Say all the wonderful and beautiful things that are you. Even if you have frizzy hair on a day or a blemish or a pimple, when you love yourself fully and completely and you see yourself as a child of God, as a child of the Creator, that you're part of everything, you're radiant, you're beautiful, you're absolutely incredible. So it's important for you to know that and for you to see yourself through those eyes, that you are magnificent just how you are. And just because a magazine or a makeup commercial says to do this or that, it doesn't mean that you're lesser. So that's so important to really love yourself. And be your own best friend, as I said, a cheerleader, a supportive person. So say the things to yourself that you would say to a friend, to a sister, to a child, because it's very unlikely that that negative voice actually has speaking power and control when you're talking to your best friends. You wouldn't say, oh, if they failed the test or something, yeah, you should have studied, you procrastinated, you're fucking awful, you're terrible, you're really stupid, you shouldn't try to do this, why are you doing this? Yet, sometimes we allow that space for that negative voice to talk in our own head. So again, just bringing awareness to it, and all of this combined cultivates a positive mindset so you can move forward to your happier life. Now we're going to do some awesome muscle testing and some theta healing downloads. So theta healing downloads work just like if your subconscious mind was this really outdated laptop. So just on the laptop, you'd want to check yes to receive a new download to make it better and faster and more efficient and high performance and super amazing and awesome. You say yes to receive healing downloads for theta healing. So I'm going to work with your higher power and just say higher power, but you guys can substitute in your head creator, source, universe, Mother Earth, guides, higher self, whatever your higher power is, you can easily, awesome, yes, we can easily substitute that in your head. So you guys can start with your $20 bills, so just kind of like hold it, and then you're going to kind of use your pliers. So this is your yes, strong yes, and then no for the gap. So you can repeat after me. Maybe I'll do it this way because it's a little bit better. I'm trying to it's a reflection on my webcam, so I'm trying to make sure it looks good for you guys. So you guys can muscle test. I love myself and pull. And then I can be my own best friend. And I celebrate my successes. So if you got any of those that broke, we'll do some healing downloads for it. And you can just say yes in the comments to receive this instant healing download into you. So do you want to clear any junk, negative energy, trauma, shock, soul trauma, or frozen energy around not loving yourself, around beating yourself up, around the things that that negative voice said, around the things that the people in your life said that created that negative voice? So your parents, your mentors, your teachers, your friends, the people that you love. Do you want to clear all of that heaviness, all that junk, negative emotion and sadness and loss and grief? Do you want to clear all that now by saying yes? And you want to know how you can just cut the cords, contracts, obligations, vows, and promises to those negative experiences, and that you're ready to release those fully and completely now, completely on all levels, and we'll resolve it on a history level, and show you that it's time, safe, and able to love yourself, knowing fully and completely in your identity as loving yourself fully and completely, that powerful woman, that powerful man, and that you love yourself and accept yourself and honor yourself and your truth and your power, and that you know what your relationships look like and what your job looks like and what your life looks like when you love yourself fully and completely, when you're there for yourself, where you're your own best friend, where you're your cheerleader, and where you're able to celebrate all your successes, big and small, and reward yourself for all the amazing things that you're doing in this wonderful life. If you want that, you can say yes. Wonderful. So then we can muscle test them again to make sure that you have them now. So you can muscle test again. I love myself. I can be my own best friend. I celebrate my successes. And wonderful, everyone's saying yes, yes, yes. Awesome, awesome. Yes, please. Woohoo! Wonderful. And if you don't get one of these changed, mark it down. Because sometimes half a solution is getting really clear on the problem. So sometimes we can just feel so stuck in life and just be oblivious to where our block is. And just being aware of what that subconscious belief is allows us to work on it even deeper and get to that root. Because sometimes there's really deeply ingrained things that are just like layers of an onion. It took decades and years to build it up. So sometimes in one download, it can't be cleared. It'd have to go to your original root to see what original trauma that is and clear it more. So if it didn't clear for you, but I'm getting a lot of people saying that they did clear, and in my workshops, I usually clear because these are kind of the easier ones. They're not does my mom love me fully completely? Does my dad love me fully and completely? The deeper stuff that sometimes people have kind of deeper issues on. We kind of usually do the lighter ones to start with. But if it didn't change for you, be gentle with yourself. Know that it's just a deeper root there. So sometimes it can be beneficial to journal about it, to meditate on it, to get your own healer to work with it, to get me to work with it, whatever you feel called to. But definitely put a little note so that you are aware of what subconscious belief you still have around it, just as we move through this. But I think everyone's changed. So that is awesome. And then the second step is self-care. And there's a million ways to take care of ourselves. We can get enough hydration. So I'm going to drink water. Super important to hydrate. As a woman with my size, I drink about 3 of these a day, a little bit more when I'm exercising. Get enough hydration. Let go of the things that you know aren't great for you. So like pop or processed foods, and add more good, nourishing fuel into your body. So don't think of it as this like hard diet. And now you have to like punish your body for like being fat or bad or ugly or blah, 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 whatever you're going to say. Do it as a loving thing to yourself. You want your self-care to fill you up. So be like, I love myself. My body's a temple. My body's an amazing channel. My body is just this amazing place where I live. So I'm going to put incredible things into my body. So that can be more raw fruits and vegetables. It can be adding different nutritious smoothies into your life, different juices, wherever you're at. I love wheatgrass shots. Definitely didn't start my journey off loving wheatgrass shots though. So whatever it is for you, that's your self-care that fills you up and fuels you in a healthy and happy way. Definitely move forward with that. It can be something like getting enough exercise. So running, moving outdoors, enjoying how your body can move. It can be dancing, it can be yoga or body flow. Whatever makes you feel great and wonderful in your body, do that. And spend time in nature, even in the winters. I know that a lot of us are in Canada and that winters can be very cold and it doesn't look like this right now outside, but get fresh air, experience nature, be grounded and centered with the things around us. And you can have different spiritual practices, so meditation or yoga, different things that allow you to connect to your higher power, to have spirituality into your life. So that could also be going to church. And treating yourself, really allowing yourself to fully and completely relax, decompress, let that weight and responsibility just let go, release it from your body. So I personally love baths. So you can definitely have a bath. You can just play with your family, your kids, have some friend time, and you can do things that you love and enjoy to do. So that could be reading. That could be things that you loved to do as a kid, and maybe you stopped because you weren't good at it or you couldn't make a job out of it. Sometimes people stop doing sports because they weren't the best, or don't do figure skating because they weren't going to make a career out of it, but they enjoyed doing it. So what are those things that you might have stopped? Maybe coloring. It's as simple as just doing some art. What did you stop doing that you could add into your life that would just bring you so much more happiness and joy and bliss? It's also so important to get enough sleep. So depending on your body, that could be like 6.5, 7 to 9 hours. So you have to kind of play with that. I'm even not perfect with that. There's been instances in my life where I've really focused on it and gotten like 8 hours and been wonderful. Then there's other times where I like ebb and flow. So definitely not judging on any self-care that you guys are not be able to do on a consistent basis with sleep. I'm still working on that one. I'm not perfect. You won't be perfect either. But just putting our intentions to do better at it, to fuel our bodies, and to ensure that we're in a healthy space. And this all contributes to filling our cup up. Just like we charge our cell phones every day, we have to charge ourselves every day. Just like we have to put fuel in the car in order for it to go well, we have to fuel ourselves. And this is one of my favorite ones that I was not doing before. I used to be a huge saver and would like pinch pennies and not give anything to anything. Treat yourself. You can buy your own flowers. You can buy your own special Laura Secord chocolate. You can treat yourself. And it's a balance, obviously. We're not going to go on an extreme and like frivolously spend all the time either, but it's really rewarding yourself for doing a good job. That you can go to the movies and have fun. So it's building happiness into your life on a regular basis. So time with friends can also be a thing, or dinner with friends. And it's so important to know that prioritizing yourself is not selfish. Loving yourself is the most loving thing you can do to anyone else in your life, because you're showing up and leading by example. If you tell your kids to eat like green vegetables or their broccoli and you're not eating broccoli, they're gonna feel that that there's something wrong, that that's out of alignment, that you're kind of lying. People are led by example. So you need to be that example in your life and in your family of someone who's healthy and happy and taking care of themselves. You're not going to do anyone any good if your negative habits, like eating junk food, not taking care of yourself, not getting enough sleep, not exercising, leads to a disease later in life, leads to cancer, leads to something worse. So it's being aware that in the short term, little decisions we can make that will just pay dividends over our life. So loving ourselves now, building these healthy self-care rituals into our lives, even though it'll take a little bit of patience, a little bit of mindset shifts, a little bit of habit creation at the beginning will pay dividends over your life. Because just how it's so easy to like wake up and go on your phone and kind of check whatever and not take care of yourself in the morning, it's just as easy once you build it as a habit to wake up, drink some water, drink lemon tea, go do some yoga, move your body, do some healthy self-care practices in the morning that fill you up. So once they're formed, it pays dividends over your life because your body's just like, okay, we wake up and we get ready and we go do yoga. We wake up, we go for a run. We wake up and we do these healthy things for ourselves. So instead of checking your phone or being kind of in the scroll and the mode just from the start of our day, we can choose to make more healthy habits into our lives, and it pays dividends over our entire life. So I definitely encourage you guys to create rituals. I started with my evening ritual because I'm definitely a night owl. So definitely start with the easiest things. And to form really healthy habits easily, attach a new habit to something you're already doing. So for example, I always have a shower in the morning. So I attach the ritual of setting my intention in the morning. So I set my intention to learn my lessons with ease, speed, grace, joy, and love in the morning. So now it's just a habit. Just like my mind runs the I love you kind of track when I look in a mirror. When I step in the shower, my body's like, we're setting our intention for the day. So you can create these wonderful, healthy habits so your subconscious, that automatic pilot, can be working for you in your life. And then we're going to get into more downloads. So you can start with your muscle testing again, and you can repeat after me. I am healthy. I nourish my body. I take time to work on myself. So if you want to clear any junk or negative energy, disappointment, regret, or any shoulds you have around your self-care, your habits, and around how you're treating yourself, you can say yes to receive that download. And you want to clear it completely on all levels and resolve it on a history level and be shown through your higher power what lessons you were learning during this process of learning it the hard way, or learning through pain, or learning through suffering. And be shown that you can learn your lessons through love going forward, that the lessons that are ready to be marked as complete are now marked as complete, so you can live without repeating them in the future and live without the negative side effects in your life. And we'll clear all the junk and baggage and negative emotion and heaviness on you from not having these healthy self-care rituals into your life. And we'll show you through your higher power who you are, what your life looks like, that it's time, that it's completely possible, safe on all levels, and that you're able to incorporate through inspired action and comfortable baby steps these wonderful self-care rituals into your life, the ones that fit for you, and that you can integrate them one at a time with ease and joy so that you can build these habits over time. And that you know what that looks like, what that feels like, and how to be resourceful and supported in the building process of these, and that you're ready to receive that help and move in inspired action towards the doors of opportunity that are ready to help you and serve you and support you in this. And if you want that, you can say yes. And awesome, we're getting lots of yeses. And then you can muscle test them again. So you can say out loud, I'm healthy. I nourish my body. I take time to work on myself. And I'm feeling that those are good for people, so that's awesome. And then we'll get into gratitude. And Sherry Lynn says, wow, I know, it's awesome. I love theta healing to just clear things so quickly and easily. So gratitude is so important. And there's so many things for us to be so grateful for. Literally everything that's around us, we can be grateful for because we are so blessed and so abundant. So we can be grateful for the air that we're breathing, especially if you want more financial abundance in your life. Be grateful for all the abundance around you. We're never worried about our next breath, and that's way more important than our next paycheck. So being grateful for the abundance of oxygen around us. And we have an abundance of water. If you turn on a tap, water will flow forever. We have an abundance of water. We have an abundance of healthcare. If you live in Canada, we're so blessed. that if you get sick, that if you have a baby, that you get taken care of for free. We have an abundance of healthcare. We have an abundance of sunlight. We have so much abundance all around us. Tiffany said, so grateful for my breath, seeing my son struggle. Yes, definitely. I hope everything's going well. I know that you guys had your big trip soon. And Sherry Lynn, yes, we are. We're so grateful. There's so many plants that are going to come up in the spring. There's so much abundance around us. We can be so grateful for everything. We can be grateful for all 10 fingers and toes. We can be grateful we have hair, that our eyes see. We can be grateful for everything around us. So it's so important to take time to be grateful for that so we can be happier, that we can see the silver linings when we're learning our lessons or going through some harder times in our life. And also this attitude of gratitude attracts more to it. So if you're kind of seeing the law of attraction, the way that the universe works, if there was two people and you were the universe, would you want to give it to the person who's like, fuck you, I'm barely getting by my job, everything sucks, I'm a victim, this is terrible, you're not giving enough to me, blah blah blah, bitching and complaining? Or would you give it to the person who's like, I love everything, I'm so grateful for everything, thank you so much for everything that you're giving me, I'm just so grateful and I'm so appreciative and just thank you so much and thank you for all the little things and all the big things and everything in between? If you were the universe, who would you give more to? What would attract more? What feels better? The universe definitely continues to show up and vibrate at the same level of people who are in that gratitude. And there's a million ways you can add gratitude into your life. So like I was saying before, how it's really easy to add habits to something you're already doing. So a lot of people already drink tea or coffee in the morning. So you could add a gratitude moment to your mornings. And you could just be like, I'm so grateful I have this second of quiet. I'm grateful I have a hot beverage. I'm grateful I live where I live. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for myself. I'm grateful for the love within myself, the connection I have to my higher power. I'm grateful for all these wonderful things that are in your life. If you're having a harder time, you can look around and be like, okay, I'm grateful I have my laptop. I'm grateful I have a table. You can look at very easy things to be grateful for. And Sherry Lynn says, yes, we are. Bless your water. I do water blessings on my water. It's so important to be grateful for everything. So if you want a really easy habit, you can just start it once a day with something you're already doing, like having a hot beverage. And if you want to take your gratitude practice a little bit further, at the end of the day or even at the beginning, you can take the time to write 3 things that you're really grateful for and start ingraining that as a habit. Grateful for housework because that means I have a home. Yes, so true. And that brings a whole new vibration to it. I used to have in university cleaning parties, dance parties, where we'd clean with my roommate. And it was so fun. The energy was so amazing with it. And it's also important to express our gratitude to others, especially since we can all be busy and in a rush. Just really take the time to say thank you to someone, to text someone, to get those little cards and send them in the mail. A lot of people only get bad mail nowadays. To take the time to put a nice note on someone's desk, to really appreciate them and show them how you're thankful for them. So we'll do some muscle testing again. So you can repeat after me. I'm grateful. I see all the blessings around me. I see the abundance in my life. And then we'll work with your higher power and clear any negative energy, negative emotion, or baggage you have around being taken for granted, being unappreciated, with not seeing the blessings around you, with having hard times and struggling with it. We'll clear all that pain, that pressure, that negative energy completely from you and show you that it's time and safe and that you're able to have a new attitude of gratitude, that you can bring it into your life, that you can accept this healing on yourself and your mind, and even that negative voice in the back of your head, so you can shift into a more positive frame of mind, that you can have that attitude of gratitude built within you from the foundations, so you can be happy and grateful, that this practice will allow you to see the silver linings, that you can see all the blessings and the abundance around you, and if you want that, you can say yes. Awesome, lots of yeses. Then you can say, repeat after me with your $20 bill. I'm grateful. I see all the blessings around me. I see the abundance in my life. That feels good for everyone, so we'll keep going. And the next one's boundaries. And it's not this like harsh, cruel separation that you have to do with anyone. I want you to change your perspective of it, if you do have a negative one of it, to just this like gentle barrier that prevents you from being walked all over. So if you had a beautiful field of flowers that you didn't want anyone to randomly walk across, walk all over, you'd probably put up a little fence or a sign saying, please don't walk here. So sometimes it's as easy as communicating what your boundaries are to people so that they know where your line is. So they know that you will be doing this. This is the line, and you're absolutely not doing these things. So sometimes communication is the easiest and simple way to do that. And then there's a lot deeper stuff that I know I get into with my clients. So that's a very beginner step to it. And a lot of people say yes when they're really thinking no. So a really easy way to start to transition from that yes all the time to the no is to say yes on your terms. So if there's a birthday party coming up this weekend and someone asks you to make the cake and get a really awesome decorations and do the balloons and get cool party favors, you could say, awesome, I would absolutely love to help you prepare. I can help you 3 hours before the party. Like, you can't drop everything you're going to do this week. This week's already planned. You can say, yes, I'll absolutely help you 3 hours before. So what can I do 3 hours before? Maybe you can't make a homemade cake, but could you get something from the grocery store? Could you pick up some stuff at the dollar store on the way there? So saying yes on your terms. And then you can move to saying yes on your terms in advance. So you can be like, oh, like this one is just like, oh my gosh, it came up so quick. I love helping and supporting the birthday parties. I love celebrating. I love to be part of the party planning team, but I need like a month's notice in order to make my like special cake. And we know when birthday parties are coming a year in advance. So that's amazing. So yes, I'll definitely help you for the next one. When you let me know about a month in advance, what you'd want, what you want on the cake and all those things, so that I can make a beautiful cake for you. And then you can switch to the no. So the no on your terms. And then you can actually just say no, because we don't need to explain everything all the time. We can just say no, and we don't need to explain ourselves to other people. So we'll do the more muscle testing around it. And you can say out loud, I have healthy boundaries. I can say no to people. I feel okay saying no to people. And then we'll do some healing downloads on that. So we'll clear all the junk, negative energy, and pressure you felt to kind of conform and say yes and be obligated to doing things for other people, that you have to sacrifice yourself, your self-care, your to-do list, and your plans, and your fun activities for other people, that you have to, or that you need to, or that you're expected to put other people first. Do you want to clear all that negative energy, that hatred, that self-hatred, that disrespect? Do you want to clear all that pain and pressure and burden and stress from you completely on all levels and resolve it on a history level, and show you how, through your higher power, you can release all the resentment and grudges you have to anyone that you perceive forced you to do these things, and even any self-hatred or self-blame that you've put on yourself for doing these things, for not having healthy boundaries, for not having the ability to say no to people. Do you want to clear all that completely from you on all levels, resolve it on a history level? You can say yes to receive that healing. Awesome. And do you want to know who you are and what your life looks like and your identity as a person with healthy, firm boundaries? And that you can live without someone testing those boundaries, and that you can know what those boundaries are and have that clarity yourself, so you can live without the flexibility of, oh, I sometimes do it and like sometimes they walk over me, that you can clear all that kind of instability from your boundaries or anything that has happened in the past where you tried to enforce one and then like they pushed you too far and you eventually got run down. We'll clear all that negative energy and show you your identity with healthy, happy boundaries where you're comfortably able to express them, that you can say no, and that you feel okay saying no to people. And if you want that, you can say yes. Wonderful. And then assertiveness. And when I started, I didn't really know what it was, so I wanted to give you guys a definition. So it's an honest, direct, appropriate expressions of one's thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. And that's where we want to live. and that healthy assertive skills where you are communicating exactly what you're thinking and feeling. Not the passive one where we're not really saying what we want to say. We say yes instead of no. We're not letting people know what we're actually thinking or feeling. Definitely don't want to be passive aggressive where we get to a boiling point and it just completely just blows up. You also don't want to be abusive or aggressive. You want to be that safe, comfortable, assertive communication. So a great way to do that is by saying I statements. So whenever you say it from my truth, so it's my truth, I'm saying it, it's a different energy than saying you. You always do that. You never take out the trash. That points the finger and that escalates an argument. So you can say, I feel blank when you blank, and that helps you. And you want to make sure you're not doing this when you're fuming mad, being like, I feel this, blah, blah, blah. It's important to take time and release yourself from that anger before you keep going. So if you notice that you're kind of escalating in a conversation, it's going to become a fight or an argument, you can just be like, hey, I really need like 10 minutes. This is kind of triggering me. I'm going to get really emotional about this. I'm going to go take 10 minutes and like feel better and then come back in 10 minutes. Or if you're like, oh, this is a big thing, like this is about our kid's future or like a big move, plan that on a day where you're not hangry or really overwhelmed or just exhausted. So like plan it for a Saturday afternoon where everything's good instead of like the middle of the week where everything's just frantic. So you can definitely kind of create these win-win situations by knowing how you and the person that you're talking to interact so that you can create a safe environment for you guys to discuss it without it becoming an argument. So an awesome thing you can do is an I feel statement. So I feel blank when you blank because blank. So that can look like, I feel really lonely when you come home and watch TV because I feel unimportant, I feel unloved, I feel like you care about the TV or the sports game more than me. So expressing it in a way that you can create a win-win situation. And that creates an equal partnership because anyone who loves you doesn't want you to feel lonely or depressed or isolated. They want to create a win-win situation and can express it on their side too of how they're feeling so that you can meet in the middle and make sure maybe you need to get a hug when they come home and then they're going to go de-stress and watch the TV for a bit and then come back and do a beautiful supper together or go for a walk later so that you feel like you're being heard and that you're both winning and you're equal partners on a team. So we'll do some downloads and you can test, I am assertive. I can excuse myself from an argument. I can take time to cool down. So do you want to know through your higher power who you are, what your life looks like when you're assertive, and clear any negative energy and junk around fights, arguments, conflicts that you've had, to clear all the grudges, resentments, negative energy, sadness, loss of friendship, loss of intimacy, rage, anger, contempt. We'll clear all that negative energy and baggage from you if you want to say yes. Do you want to cut the cords, contracts, obligations, vows, promises, and commitments that you have to unhealthy communication or toxic people in your life? We'll release you completely on all levels. We'll resolve this on a history level and show you how you can fully forgive and accept so you can stop drinking the poison, expecting it's going to hurt someone else. That we can clear that completely from you, fully forgive and accept them and yourself so that you can now move forward in your life. Would you guys like that? Wonderful. So that's feeling better, and you can double check. You can say, I am assertive. I can excuse myself from an argument, and I can take time to cool down. And it's so important to know that we can just choose happiness right now. I love the quote that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. So we get to choose the story that we're creating, if we're the victim or if we're not. So it's important to see that. And when we want to choose happiness, it's important to kind of like set ourselves up for success, to have a happy playlist, to like be like, when I feel crappy, I'm going to go play with my pets. That I have this awesome like playlist on YouTube of funny cat or dog videos or things that'll make me laugh and just lift up my spirits so that I can be in that happy state again. So I'll get you to muscle test some more things. Again, just knowing that knowing kind of the problem is sometimes half the solution. So you can muscle test, I am happy, I can be happier, I choose to be happy, I deserve to be happy, and I can live my dream life. And we're getting closer to the end, so we're not going to do the healings on it. It's just awareness for you to see what else might be holding you back from living your happiest life right now. And I love creating dream happy lives for myself and for my clients and even my friends. And a really great way that you can do that is through a be, do, have list. So it creates the clarity that you need to start attracting this into your life. So be is like, I want to be happy and healthy and fulfilled and abundant and spontaneous and sensual and sexy and a goddess and aware. Do would be things you want to do. I want to travel. I want to help people. I want to experience new things. What are those things you want to do? And have. I want to have financial freedom and security. I want to have an amazing house. I want to have a comfortable cottage. I want to have a safe and durable car. All the things you want to be and do and have. And you want to do this when you're joyful, because that's going to be the energy you attracted into your life. So start with about 50 things. When you feel this great joyful energy, this will be kind of a recommendation for an exercise later, for you to write down and take the time to get clear on what you want to be, what you want to do, and what you want to have. And again, just to gain clarity on where you might be stuck, we can muscle test the following. So you can say, I know what my dream life looks like. I can get to my dream life with ease and joy. I know what steps to take to get to my dream life. I deserve my dream life. So if you don't have any of those, it's just an awareness to be mindful, to see which ones might be holding you back, where you might be stuck in your life. Now we're going to integrate the changes. So this essentially just wraps up the healings that we've done. I can also offer you a general healing for whatever is ready to be healed in your body right now and fill you up completely with your higher power's unconditional love and compassion and joy and happiness. And if you would like that, you can say yes. And then you can just take a couple deep cleansing breaths. Releasing any other heaviness, any residual blocks. Another deep breath. Kind of just check into your body. You can see how you're feeling. And then I want you guys to now take the time to reflect on what your next steps are going to be. And take the time to really commit to decide what your action steps are going to be, because so many people will watch a webinar, will go to a workshop, will listen to a TED Talk and get some knowledge. But until we incorporate it into our life and we decide to do that, to build that habit, to add it into our daily rituals, it's not going to get there just by wishing. That's like the action, the inspired action piece of the law of attraction, if you guys are familiar with that. So I want you guys to get the most out of this and decide what one thing will you decide to work on going forward? What are you committed to? And if you want to put that in the chat box below, if you're like, yeah, I'm super committed to this, I'm putting it out to the world, I'm saying yes to the universe, I'm committed to more self-love. I'm committed to saying I love you to myself. Let me know. I'd be super excited to hear. And I'm also doing a group coaching program. So I'd love to invite you into this if you feel what this message was today really resonates with you. It's going to be all about living a happy life because it'll be done over 6 weeks. Leonard, self-love and self-care. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. So this wonderful group coaching program is going to allow you to have access to me for 6 weeks as we create this wonderful container of change for you to build these healthy habits into your life, for us to clear the negative beliefs and subconscious blocks that you come across as you build it, for you to have a community of supportive people and myself who help you as you're making these changes, because sometimes we don't have that kind of support in our life. We feel like we're the only ones doing this self-help, personal development, growth, awakening thing. So it creates this wonderful community of like-minded people who are making these changes too, and we transform together. And the power of 1 + 1 is like 10. when we do things like this. It's just amplified, just like in meditation. It's a synergistic thing. It's not 1 + 1 = 2. It's so much more because we're changing and bringing this energy together. So I'm so excited for this group program. It's going to be 6 weeks. It'll be done over a video conference similar to this so that we can easily access each other. It's going to be all about what we've talked about today. We're going to dive really deep into it. The ones that we just muscle tested for awareness, we'll clear those as well. We'll dive deeper into the different pieces. So over the 6 weeks, we'll talk about that self-love, that self-care, having an attitude of gratitude, forming these healthy boundaries into your life, and making sure that you can assertively and confidently and comfortably communicate it to the different people in your life. It's going to be a weekly intention setting. So we're going to make sure every week we have an intention that we're moving towards. I'm also going to be recording meditations that will really support you through that. There'll be healing downloads within it so you can clear what's coming up. We'll have calls every Monday at 7 o'clock. So if you were able to come tonight, awesome, then this is a pretty good time for you. It'll be starting March 19th, and replays will also be available so that you can just watch it over and over again. If you're like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting, and I didn't get a chance to make all the notes, replays will be available. If you can't make it live, you can also send in any issues or challenges that you're going through, and we can discuss it and then you can catch the replay so that you're not feeling like you're missing the live calls. So that would be available to people. And I love that people are writing in, I'm committing to more self-love. Awesome. I'm committed to nourishment. Woohoo. Thank you so very much for everything. Awesome. So I'm going to talk about the benefits of it and really invite you into the program if you feel this is the right fit for you. So we're going to give you 6 weeks of group support plus a private Facebook community just for us to be in and engaging with each other so that we're creating this amazing container of change, of positive, nourishing environment for you to change in, for you to build healthy habits in, for you to clear all that junk and negative energy, for you to receive healings, and that will just propel you forward in magnificent ways in your life. There will be accountability through myself to achieve your goals that you're setting and intending for this 6-week group. You'll have my objectivity in seeing your patterns, your blocks, and things that might be preventing you. We'll close the gaps between where you're at and where you actually want to be. You'll have my expertise in helping you form these new healthy habits into your life. And by doing this and saying yes, you're committed to actually making these changes in your life. And whenever I've said yes in my life, the universe comes in. When you decide and when you commit, the universe rushes in to support us. When I decided that, I even mentioned earlier on the Love and Light show today, when I said yes to an next program for Theta Healing and then building my business, the universe came in and was like, okay, here you go. I was laid off on International Happiness Day on the first day of spring. So the universe was literally like, okay, here you go. This is how you can start and launch this full time. And it supported me every step of the way. So by committing to yourself and saying, I'm doing this, I'm building my happiest life right now, and I'm doing it, you'll be committing to me and the group of people that we're in and the universe that you're ready for these changes, and just unbelievable magic happens when you commit. Different results that you can expect from this, and that I definitely get from the clients that I've already worked with, is that they move towards your dream happy life quicker. We'll make sure that we clear the limiting beliefs and stress and junk and baggage that's been coming up and been holding you back from already doing this yourself. Because it's not rocket science. And sometimes we can be really mean and negative and beat ourselves up around all the excuses or procrastinating or avoiding things or numbing out. So we're just going to be really gentle, discover what those limiting beliefs are, bring awareness to them, and clear them. And do a little bit of digging in the group calls, and make sure that you're walking away without those limiting beliefs holding you back any longer. Because you deserve to have that happy life. And you never said yes to that junk that's in your subconscious right now. And you can muscle test and see what junk you have and bring more awareness to it. And I would love to support you in clearing those negative beliefs. Through this, it'll lower your stress and your worry and your overwhelm. So you'll experience more peace and joy and bliss and happiness. And I was completely unaware, especially in my corporate world, the amount of joy that you can experience on a regular basis and consistently. So now that I'm experiencing this, I absolutely want the rest of the world to feel it. I want you to feel this way too. We'll create more space and more time for yourself, your true passions, your relationships, the joyful things, the fun things, the happy things in your life. We'll incorporate different ways that you can build self-care habits into your life, and so that you can love yourself fully and completely. We'll do so many different things that change your mindset. So you can have that positive mindset, the quiets ego, that negative voice in the back of your head. And all of this will, of course, raise your vibrations so you can attract more of what you're actually wanting and desiring in this world. It's so important for us to be in alignment and be in vibrations that we're attracting those things that we love and more of those things. So I ask you, are you ready to live your happiest life now? Yes, awesome, wonderful. I would absolutely love to support you more on your journey. So in order to get into this group program, I encourage you to send me a Facebook message right after this live broadcast ends, or email me at laura@coachlaura.mcphee.com, so whatever way is comfortable and more easier for you, because I want to make sure that the people who are in this group vibe well together, that there's good energy between us all, because the container is what's going to create this amazing transformation. So we want to make sure that there aren't any weeds in our containers, that everyone who's coming to it, and I know most of the people who are live on this broadcast are absolutely amazing things, so I see no problems with us moving forward with things, but definitely send me a message, especially if you're watching a replay. So on my Facebook Messenger, Laura McPhee, it can be my business page, my personal page, or my email, laura@coachlaura.mcphee.com. We'll kind of chat, see if making sure that this is the right fit for you. I never want to sell anything to anyone who this isn't the right fit for. So we actually will, if you want to get on a clarity call, talk about it more to make sure it's the right fit for you. If you're kind of questioning about it or not sure what's all involved, if you want to kind of have specific questions answered, we can definitely get on a clarity call. They're also 30-minute complimentary calls just to kind of see where you're at, to make sure that we're in alignment for moving you forward. I really don't want to sell anything to anyone if they're not going to be a right fit, if they're not going to jive with anyone else. So this is an important piece just to make sure that it will be an amazing supportive group, community, and container for us to transform and become so much happier together. So definitely reach out to me. And during this process, be kind to yourself. Kindness and just awareness are the key principles. We don't want to get overwhelmed by trying to do everything at once. And I definitely used to do this, my old perfectionist ways. I'd get so super excited and psyched after learning all these cool things. I'd make like a to-do list of like 20 things and be like, okay, the first day I do all like 20 out of 20 self-care things. Awesome, I'm amazing, I'm a perfect person. Awesome. The next day, like 10. The next day, like 5 or 10. And by the end of the week, maybe 1 or 2, the end of the month, 0 have become an actual habit in my life. So I really highly encourage you to just take one thing at a time, for you to focus on one thing, the thing that resonated to you the most. So if that was self-love, the self-care, having that attitude of gratitude, forming healthy boundaries, or being assertive in your life, whichever one of those felt right for you, just do one baby step action that you feel inspired or happy or excited to start doing. And once that becomes a habit, build on that again. Just make those comfortable baby steps so that you can create these new healthy habits into your life without overwhelm, without beating yourself up, without feeling super stressed about it all. And I want to encourage you guys to keep showing up and being the best version of yourself. We, unfortunately, can't change our past. So I love to use a metaphor. If you have a really dirty glass and you put it in the sink, you can't change how dirty the glass got, how dirty your mind got in the first place. You can't change that. That's fact. This is in the present moment. But when you put it in the sink, you can control if you turn the tap on full blast, you're kind of dripping it in. And the more water, the more positive things, the more good energy you put in the glass, the cleaner it'll get. The more that junk will kind of just come out. So think of yourself in a similar way. You have complete control of the tap, of the speed and the pressure you're putting into the glass. So just be empowered by that you're in charge of that, and that you get to make those positive changes going forward. And by doing this and being the best version of yourself, you're able to live your happiest life. So I encourage you to continue showing up to information sessions like this, to workshops, to programs that you feel really called to doing, because the universe is here to support you. And the more happy people there are in the world, the better this whole world will be. So I encourage you to let me know any questions that you might have. Awesome, you have some yeses in the comments, and thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm so glad that this was helpful for you guys. This is my very first online webinar. I've been loving doing these workshops in person, and I'm so excited to be bringing it more online. Thank you very much. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it so much. This was wonderful. Awesome. I'm so happy this has helped. And I will be announcing the winner within 24 hours. So because this is going to be available on a replay, I'm going to give people some chances who weren't able to catch it live a chance to catch the replay and get that 1 hour session with me. So if you guys did jump in late, I know that some people jumped in a little bit late. If you want to tag me on a social media post saying that you got some value from this, and now that you're done this entire workshop, you can say this really cool thing that you learned, or if you took a screenshot or anything, definitely share it with a friend, share it on your Facebook page, and by tagging me, I'm able to know who you are. I'll create little ballots and then announce the winner in 24 hours. So yeah, 24 hours, I'll do a live on Facebook and have the winners announced for that 1 hour session with me, so you can dive even deeper into something that you discovered here or something else that you kind of have that you were knowing that you needed to work on, or a block or something that's preventing you from your happiest life. We'll dive even deeper into that on a 1 hour session. So I'll announce the winner about 24 hours from now. And you're welcome. Thank you guys all for joining live. I love you guys so much. So yes, definitely, if you feel called to this 6-week program, reach out to me on Facebook, send me an email. I would love to support you guys even further to get to your happy life and just raise your vibrations so we can raise the vibration of the planet together. So I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Bye.